Okay, here's a quick rough and ready video on how I clean up rusty old parts. I've got some hot soapy water here to degrease the item I've got my citric acid solution already mixed up. It's a really old batch that I've used before. I've kept it and I've used some of it more recently. But just I'll put some information up on the details. But I use these citric acid crystals, get them off eBay. I can't remember the price. I get them at £5 kilo bag. I think it's for less than 20 quid. You mix it up with 125 grams of 125 grams of crystals per litre of water. So first thing we do is I've got a rusty old cylinder head here. I'm just going to have a practice of grinding on. It is still full of crud, so it's pretty much degreased. I'm going to give it a good old scrub in some hot soapy water here. And the reason you've got to get all the grease off, because anything that's greasy and oily will not be cleaned by the citric acid. So I've done a cylinder head before, and the reason I got this one is going to have a go at doing some head work, DIY head work. So we'll give it a scrub up. Much crud out of it as possible, and you can obviously use a wire brush on it as well. The only problem with heavy cast iron items when you're using plastic containers is, especially cheap plastic containers, is cracking the bottoms and all your solution starts coming out. Okay, got to give that a quick clean like that. This one's still got valves in, some of them are stuck in. Obviously this will help to work it out. How long do you leave it in for? It's really depends on how rusty the item is and what kind of cleanliness you want to get on it. So that's my wife knocking on the garage roof. Okay, clean that. Now what I'd normally do is I'd rinse it in cold water. Let's get some water in the waterways. Yeah, wash them through. Okay, I can actually see the original paint under there, so that's coming up pretty well. Before I derust it. Okay, hot soapy water. Then you'd mix up your citric acid using hot water. A, it helps to dissolve the crystals, and B, it does speed up the process. Some people get a fish tank heater and stick it in the pot. I've got this plastic container here. I don't think I've got enough citric acid, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in, and if I don't have enough, I'm going to top my bucket up with some hot water. It will weaken the solution, but this is just a practice with some old stuff, and I will probably, I've run out of crystals, so I will get, yeah, this citric acid is a pretty dirty solution. So this is probably its last go. And we'll whack it in there, we'll leave it in overnight, and then see how it comes out in the morning. Okay, citric acid is completely biodegradable, so it is quite safe to pour down the drain. Whether it's a degreaser or not, I don't know. It's not going to hurt. Get some ports there. Okay, we're nearly there actually with I reckon another. I'll fill this 5 litre thing up with boiling hot water, and we'll be just over the surface there. Okay, so that's that in there. We'll get it filled up, and then we'll come back and see how it works. Okay, so we've back to derusting this cylinder head. It's the following day. There's some pictures up of what it looked like after a few hours. Normally, if this was a clean solution, you get a nice grey sludge on the item. So I'm just going to pull this out so you can have a look. And there is still a lot of grease on it because I can see the grease slick around the top of the mark. And as you can see, you know, just quick go over with a wire brush on here now, and all that rust is just completely loose and it's coming off. There'll be a few stubborn parts on it, because like I say, this is not a clean solution. So underneath there, yeah, it's pretty good. I've managed to pop the valves out so they will come out, and I'll probably take them out and get into the chambers a bit more, although with a chamber you can get in there with a wire brush attachment on a drill. So that is the underside, pretty good. That's the ports, and then on the roof of the cylinder head, yeah, it'll coming up quite well. So what we do now is it's all very greasy around the valve. I'm just going to give it a scrub off with the wire brush in here, and then I'm going to get it into this bucket of fresh water, clean it off, and then I've got a hairdryer, and I'm going to dry it off with a hairdryer, because if you don't dry it off, it will just flash rust straight away. And then once you've dried it, once you've finished, you can oil it up to stop it rusting. So let's get that in the yeah, they're still stiff, the old valves. Yeah, probably will. I'll knock them out with a nylon hammer. These valves may even go again. Steel valves, it may be okay if you're desperate. Okay, so I'm going to get that out of there. Drain off the citric acid. You can see I'm doing this outside, simply because I don't want water sloshing around inside the garage where I'm currently doing an engine build. I don't want to get even inside the waterway. I'll do some close-ups, but that's come up as well. So this is a good thing about this as well, as opposed to mechanical cleaning. Mechanically, you are never going to get inside the waterways, and this citric acid, yeah, it's liquid, it just gets everywhere. So it's great for degunking out an old cylinder head. Obviously, if you've got your waterways are clogged up with rust, and you try and run it on an engine, even though the outside's clean, you are going to end up with cooling problems, because you may have blocked areas. Obviously, you can't guarantee this. What I'll do is we'll blow it out with an air on as well. Give it a good clean too before it would ever go onto an engine. Whether this is going to go on an engine, because this was sent to me as a scraps on the head. So we'll check it. Good morning. And, okay, so that's pretty much. See that all the rust has come off the top here. There's no more rust on there at all. And the good thing as well, it gets inside all the pits, the pitted areas, which you're never going to do with mechanical grinding. Obviously around these recesses here, you're going to have to get in there with a electric drill wire brush attachment. But yeah, it's just all literally just coming off nicely. That may not even need a new go. Still part of the gasket left on there. Okay, so once that's washed off, get the hairdryer out and give it a dry. Okay, so get the water out of the way. Get it on this piece of plastic here. Put it in the dry off with a paper towel. goodness. Almost new. Okay, so we're gonna let it dry now. Okay, what I can do now as well inside, I'll just blow it out. I'll blow it through with an airline as well. Just move down. So that is that. You can see it flash rusting off already. So I'll get some oil on that. That's looking pretty good, considering. Okay, so I've knocked nearly all the valves out, and I'm just using a drift and a hammer, a punch, sorry, and a hammer. And these are the last two, and they're quite tough. Let me get a valve.